is Sunday, November 27th. The year is 2022. It's kind of late in the evening. I slept all day. I'm not gonna lie, I was tired shit. After cleaning up for 2 days, after having Thanksgiving over here, and then I worked out yesterday. I didn't go to the gym today though, but I wanted to. But it's 6 o'clock in the evening. But I was tired as hell, so I took me a long nap on the couch while them dogs ran around terrorizing this house. I slept through it. And then I woke up and they left mess everywhere, so they didn't really. I had to clean that up. But anyway, a little 12-year-old kid was shot and killed at Atlantic Station yesterday evening. And the parents, the mayor of Atlanta went on the news and said that he spoke to the parents and that the parents had no clue where their 12-year-old son was. They did not know he had been at Atlantic Station. It was definitely didn't know he had been shot and killed over there. So I'm wondering, I don't have any children. Maybe I grew up in a different time frame or something. Do most people not know where their 12-year-old son would be at Saturday evening, afternoon, or wherever that shooting took place? I mean, I would think most parents would know where their 12-year-old son would be. Where is he? His name was Zyion. I just saw an article. He was shot around 8. Something happened at Atlantic Station. They were escorted out the property. So this fight broke out shortly around 8 o'clock. They identified the 12-year-old victim as Zyion Charles. Still kind of weird to me that a 12-year-old kid is roaming through the streets of Atlanta. Parents have no clue where he was or how he got there. It just seems very odd to me. And again, maybe times have changed. Maybe. But I don't see how a parent or two parents would have no clue where their 12-year-old child is. 12 years of age. I find it's kind of reckless and foolish. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I can't see. Well, I was trying to find a little article where they spoke to his parents. I just saw a picture of him. The shooting happened after a group of young people were escorted off Atlantic Station. So, do parents not know where their children are anymore? Do they not care? I wonder where he lived at. I saw on the news they were doing some type of, the parents, now all of a sudden everybody all upset because he'd been shot and killed, and the parents were having some type of something in his name. A bunch of people said, I just saw it on the news, so now I guess they know, since they know where he is now, down at the morgue, now they're concerned. I think the concern should have started out long before this 12-year-old kid who's probably been wandering the streets for who knows how long. I mean, seriously. Everybody just makes it seem like the mayor just made it seem like it's just normal. He was a 12-year-old kid who was shot at Atlantic Station. His parents didn't know where he was, and they didn't know about the curfew. Well, what did they know? Are they parents or a parent? What? Well, I don't see the little article I was trying to find. But they escorted these children off Atlantic. Obviously, I think even the police should have realized they were little kids at that time. I don't know. I don't see it, but I think if I had a 12-year-old son, I think I would know where he was. That's kind of bizarre to me. And just goes to show you that these parents, something is fundamentally wrong with parents who are parenting. They're not doing they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You should know where your child is. There should be no confusion at any time of the day. No parent should be sitting confused. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They should be able to say, well, I know where so and so is at because I'm looking right at him. Wouldn't that make the most sense? But I don't know. Maybe it's a a new type of parenting skills going on out there now. Just doesn't run wild through the streets of Atlanta. Yeah. I think people are more concerned about pets. I know where these 2 dogs are at. 24 hours a day, I know where they're either in a cage or they roam around his house. Are they in the backyard? Are they someplace? I know where my dogs are at, but y'all don't know where a 12-year-old kid is. The ignorance of it all is just astounding to me. But, you know what? Maybe that's why the crime rate is so horrible here in Atlanta. You know, that's why it's so bad. You have children running around just crazy without anyone willing to supervise them. And then we all kind of wonder why the crime rate is so high. Because most of these kids under the... Now, so one of the things I did see, Atlantic Station is not allowing, after 9 p.m., no one under the age of 21 is allowed on the property, and they will be asking for ID. See how Atlantic Station has had some issues over there because it's so close to the hood. You know, it's back behind there, Bankhead Highway, Donald E. Howell, Grove Park. You still got some hood rat neighborhoods behind there, and further down North Avenue, Northside Drive, brother. You get closer to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you got all them housing projects back up in there. They still exist. And that's probably just a few miles away from Atlantic Station. I think Atlantic Station might be the closest shopping center to those areas, so it wouldn't be hard for some kids to hop on a bus or train and get to Atlantic Station. But I'm just kind of saddened by this, that this 12-year-old kid was shot and killed out there. And his parents are nowhere to be found. They had no clue where he was at. Nothing. No idea. That's why you see these little kids selling water on the side of the highway or the side of the street. They're all little kids, they're little teenagers. And the question still comes to my mind, where are these ignorant ass parents at? Where are they? Who will let your child be out here on the street corner doing what they're doing? I mean, these parents just don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit no more. Why'd they have these kids then? Why have a child that you don't give a damn about? Until that child ends up getting shot and killed, and all of a sudden you're concerned. Well, it's too late now. Shouldn't you have shown some concern before your child ended up getting shot and killed in Atlantic Station? That I would have. But hell, I just thought that was kind of very bizarre. But gosh, I cannot find that article I was trying to... There was an article I was reading about this little kid. But anyway, I saw on the news what they were doing, and maybe I can see maybe it's on WSB. But I saw on the news just a minute ago that they were having some type of vigil for him. There was all this crowds of people standing around. And he has 5 brothers and sisters, and he has a twin. I thought, okay, this is interesting. But I guess some people might say, well, Walter, children do run around. A 12-year-old kid running wild in the streets of Atlanta, come on now. Y'all, please. We all know that doesn't make sense. That's kind of crazy. Here it is. 12-year-old boy was identified as the victim who died in Saturday night shooting near Atlantic Station. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens announced in a press conference on the 17th Street Bridge. Over here, we have continued to say recently that Atlanta is a group project. When a 12-year-old dies in our city, then the whole village has a responsibility and the whole village is impacted. The family confirmed to Channel 2 Action News 12-year-old Zyion Charles was the victim fatally shot near Atlantic Station. The mayor said everyone involved in the incident was between the age 12 to 21, with some being Atlanta public school students in middle school and high school students, others from other counties in the area, okay? According to the police, a dispute around 8 p.m. escalated to gunfire on the 17th Street Bridge, which killed Charles and injured 5 others. Atlanta police chief said the Zyion Charles, he said that the teams involved in this incident knew each other before the shooting. So 5 other people were taken to the hospital and one of them in critical condition. So they knew each other, but they decided they would shoot each other. They pull out a gun, and they also they found guns on other people too. Well, I tell you what. These kids running around Atlanta, that's one of the reasons why, this was so funny because I live out here, I don't see any kids out here. 0. There are no children out here. I don't see any kids riding bikes up and down the street. I don't see any children walking around this neighborhood where I live. And you can drive around and you won't see no kids for miles. They're here, but they're not out in the streets. And this is just a quiet neighborhood, but you don't see. When I tell you all, I've ridden around for miles around this neighborhood, going from subdivision to subdivision out here, and I haven't seen no kids on bicycles. In the parks, there's a couple of beautiful parks I drove by empty. No park, nobody in the park. And this is when the weather was hot in the summertime. I did see some children, I take that back. When the swimming pools were open, they were at those, about 4 or 5 parks that have pools over here. And they're not far from each other. I was like, well, I got all these pools over here, but those pools were packed with kids in the summertime. So I did see children in them. But now I haven't seen any children hanging out on the street corners. Just quiet over here. And I think these parents are more concerned about their children's well-being, because even at the school, there's a brand new school up the street that they built. All you see is the parents picking up and dropping off their kids. And so maybe just, like I said, the city of Atlanta has a problem with these kids. And some of these, even as Atlanta goes through gentrification, you're still going to have neighborhoods that are going to remain. Those ghettos over there near the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they're not going nowhere. And things were probably big. I think some of those were built in the past 20 years or less, and they're fairly new. I'll say that much. In the past 10, 15 years, they tore down these housing projects and rebuilt them. Well, they got a couple of places over there near the Mercedes-Benz Stadium that they've rebuilt. If you're going down North Avenue, those of you who know this area know what I'm talking about. Them hood rat niggas ain't going nowhere. They're going to be there forever. Anyway, like I said before, we're going to probably see a lot more shootings, because obviously these underage kids have got these guns. You have to wonder, how they get these guns. Well, they got them, didn't they? So we're going to see more shootings in Atlanta, mainly by these teenagers, because they're so busy running around unsupervised in the city of Atlanta without a parent giving a care about them. Now, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody. But anyway, it is Sunday, November 27th. I just want to do a short video to discuss that as I was watching this news report. But I'm about to get dressed and find me something to eat. It is Sunday, and I'm sick of these leftovers. I can't eat no more of it. I ate it for the past, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I don't know. I eat some of that cake in there now. I'll have a couple of slices of that later on after I go get me something to eat. Today is Sunday, November 27th. The year is 2022. I look forward to y'all's comment. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Everybody returns back to normal tomorrow, back to the real world. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm out of here. Look forward to reading y'all's comments. And what do y'all think? Am I crazy? I mean, is it do 12-year-old kids just run wild through the streets and nobody cares? Shouldn't a parent know where your 12-year-old son is at? I don't get that. But I don't know. I don't have any children. But anyway, I'm out of here, and enjoy the rest of your evening.